you could put those gorgeous little ears forward. There we go. We've got little Mabel with Jodie there. Hazel, Mama Smurf popping over in the background. Renske. Doutzen's ears. And between Doutzen's ears, always turning up, literally just as we're going live, is Jane. With Neil round here. So we're going to head out. I've probably done a silly thing and not connected to my phone Wi-Fi rather than the house one, but hopefully we don't cut off as we go down the driveway. So we're going to take you out. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the history of our little Miss Peppa Pig here. Little Maybelline. So I think we'll get down the driveway to start with and make sure that the Wi-Fi isn't going to cut out. We'll see you later. Now it is quite windy today, but hopefully you're going to be able to hear what we're saying, or you get to see the Mabel wiggle there. The little Mabel wiggle that she's become so famous for. She's such a voluptuous lady. But it would be great if anybody who's joining could let us know that you can hear. And then we'll get started. Hello Nancy. Hi Lance, Cassidy. The volume's good, that's excellent. I made the mistake in my hurry. I've not put my glasses on, but hopefully I'll be able to see your comments. So little Peppa and her Mabel wiggle and her Mabel belly that everybody knows and loves. And of course those fabulous ears that I'll get you a close-up of in a little bit. So Jodie's just going to be working on getting her upsides wren, and I'm going to tell you about Mabel's initial history before handing over to Jodie. Hello Danny. Hello Susan. I'm just going to try. Jodie, can I just stop for a second? I need my glasses. I can't see. Sorry, I have got my glasses in my pocket. I just need to fish them out. Then I might have a chance of seeing all your lovely comments. And obviously feel free to ask any questions about Peppa, and we'll do our best to answer them. Oh, sorry, dodgy bit of filming there. Hold on, let me sort my reins out. Okay, sorry Doutzen. Right, there we go. We've just got a van coming past and a trailer. So you're gonna get to see a lot of little Maybelline's bottom here, but I will try and get you in front at some point as well. Thank you, Amy. I'm feeling much better, much better. And it's so good to be out. And it's so good to have the sunshine. It is like summer at the moment. We are very lucky. Yeah, so extra sale, look at those lovely Peppa ears. You get a great view of them from the back here. They are the perfect Friesian ears. But if I take you back, Mabel is actually, although she's pure Friesian, obviously, she's not registered in the main KFPS stud book. She's in what's called the buy book, because Mabel was bred in the UK and she wasn't bred by an approved breeding stallion. So the stallion was registered with the stud book, but he wasn't approved for breeding. So that meant that Mabel wasn't able to go in the main KFPS stud book. So, as I say, she's in what's called the buy book. And if you look at her, she would be classed as a very old-fashioned type of Friesian. She's very long in the body, she's a bit short in the leg. And, you know, this isn't me being rude about her. It's just that she doesn't conform to the standards or the breed standards and the breeding goal of what the KFPS are trying to breed for now. But that doesn't stop her being a fantastic little horse. So what it has done is it means that her conformation has made it a little bit tricky for her to cope with being ridden over the years, which we'll tell you a little bit more about later. But what I'll say is she was born over here, bred over here, and she was bought by a really, really lovely family over in the northeast. And the chap who bought her primarily for him, but also for his daughter, who did a lot of showing. And he absolutely fell in love with Mabel, and he ended up spending more time with little Mabel than probably his daughter did. And when she was 4 years old, he asked me whether I would take her on to cloud her for riding. So she came to us in 2012, and she was just the loveliest little mare to work with. You know, really sweet, really kind, really good. And the idea was that she'd go back home, and this chap's daughter was going to be doing a little bit of showing with her and, you know, just taking her out to different events. Anyway, a year later, he asked whether we would back her for driving. So she came back to us and again did some work with her. Look, there's the Mabel wiggle. Lance, the wind is severe momentarily. Right, I'm going to hold the phone closer to my face because we almost cancelled this today because the wind is so bad. But I'm hoping if I hold this quite close to my face that you can hear, because this phone is supposed to have a wind filter on it. And maybe I'll try not to talk when there is a big gust of wind. Hi, Lindsay. Isn't it lovely to see the sun? So, do you want to let me know whether you heard any of that first initial history of Mabel coming to us when she was 4 for backing for riding, and then coming back a year later to learn to carriage drive? There's a big gust of wind. You can hear. Okay, Lance. So anyway, we got Mabel driving, and she drove. Okay, Lindsay, so Mabel came to us in 2012 as a 4-year-old, and I backed her for riding, and she was really, really lovely to work with. And then she came back a year later when her owner wanted her to drive because he fancied doing a bit of carriage driving himself. That's better now. Wonderful, thank you, Aggie. And she came back again, you know, she found it really easy, you know, she wasn't challenging in any way. She just, anything you asked of her, she coped with. And she seemed to really love her driving. And I think she was here probably about 6 weeks. And before she left, I actually put her in a pair driving. So she drove pairs with Vela, who was Nika, Zhao and Yolanda's older sister. And then she went back to her family over in the northeast. And I didn't really do anything for quite a few years after that. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid the gusts of wind. Let me get up a little bit closer to the face. Now you'll have to walk a little bit quicker. There we go. So anyway, I didn't hear anything for a while. And then her owner got in touch with me, and basically, I mean, he absolutely adored her, and I have to say, one of the things, they had a really, really lovely relationship, but he was worried that because his daughter found her quite difficult to work with and ride, not because she was naughty, but mostly because of her conformation. So you'll notice that she's got quite a dipped back, much like Doutzen, and that means that you know, with a horse like that, you do have to get quite involved to help them work their tummy muscles, to help build their strength through their backs. So anyway, she wasn't really that keen on doing much ridden work with Mabel, and she wasn't keen on driving. So he got in touch with me and said, you know, I'm worried that she's getting bored out in the field, and I just want her to be doing something. And it was a really heartbreaking decision for him, because I know the special relationship they had, and one of the really lovely things that she does with Jodie every now and again is, and she used to do it with her previous dad, is that if you stand in front of her and cuddle her and scratch her neck, she will actually put her front legs up and basically hug you. Now, a lot of people would obviously get scared of that, but she does it just because that's what she used to do with her original owner. But he very much did the right thing, because he just wanted her to have a nice life where she got to do various things. And so he asked us whether we would be interested in taking her on. And that was in 2018. And she's been here ever since. She's never been any trouble. She can be a little bit of a loner sometimes, but just anything we've asked her to do, she's given it a go. Now, she got involved in the experience days that we did for a long time, and we had various people riding her. And to be honest, you know, in hindsight, we should have stopped that before we did, because she didn't really enjoy the riding. And it was only really during the pandemic where we got to the point where we thought, right, all of these horses only need to be doing what they enjoy doing. And it's because all the Exmoors are here. They're all over here to say hello. And we thought, why are we asking her to do things that she finds quite difficult, doesn't particularly enjoy? She absolutely loved her driving. So after a while, you know, we took her away from the ridden work, because, you know, clearly you could see that she wasn't happy. Oh, they're all running off. And that was around about the pandemic time that, well, it was then that we stopped having so many different people riding them, and the horses were so much happier. And it was then that I said to Jodie took Nika on as her project, because Jodie and Nika have always got on so well. And she took Mabel on as her project as well. So Mabel has done a lot of driving. She thoroughly enjoyed her driving. And again, on our experience days, she was great with our visitors who wanted to come along and have a go at driving. And she was always really sensible, keen, her ears always forward, and she loved it. And you know, we probably would have kept on driving her, but what happened was, and I'll let Jodie tell you a little bit more about it, because she ended up, and we still don't know how it happened, but it happened, but she got a fracture in her pedal bone, and she rested all last, was it all last winter, Jodie? No, it was the winter before. And she healed really well, and we were going to drive her again, but actually it's okay to have quite bad arthritis if we keep sort of trotting her her up and down the roads when she's had a fracture in her pedal bone. So I'm going to hand over to Jodie shortly, and she's going to tell you a little bit more about what she's been doing with her over the years that she's been one of her babies. Beelzebubs, you might want to try a porous piece of foam to put over your mic on your phone to cut the wind noise. Do you know, I've had various microphones over the years. They generally don't last long. I've looked at even the really high quality expensive ones. I've looked at a Rode one, but unfortunately the receiver wouldn't sit well in the phone for doing a live hack. So I'm afraid it is what it is today. You know, I could do it through the GoPro, but again, there's going to be a bit of wind noise, and then the reception isn't always very good, and it breaks up a lot. Hi, Inika. Hi, Nemo. So that's kind of a little bit of it, Mabel's history in a nutshell. But as I say, I am going to pass you over to Jodie, because Jodie does all the work with her, and they've got such a wonderful relationship, these two. But we'll get to the end of the road here. I'm going to see whether I can get a little bit of her from the front. So let me just trot ahead and I'll get a bit of you coming down here. There we go. Let's get a little bit from the front. So Mabel does love the boys. She really loves the boys, and she also obviously loves muddy puddles, which is why she's called Peppa Pig. And again, I'm going to leave Jodie to tell you all about her beach walks and what she does when there's mud around or any kind of water. Look at that gorgeous little face. Little Peppa. What's that? Do you guys do English like you speak English? Okay, we do English riding. Anyway, I'm going to pass you over to Jodie, and I will take Mabel. Let's see if we can do this. Hold on, bear with me a second. So, go on there, that's it. I've got to pass you over.
There we go. Right, Ren. Hello everyone. So we've got little Mabes with Doutzen now, if they're going to cooperate. So Ren isn't always that keen on going behind, because she definitely wants to be in front. Hi Monique. So where do I start? So I'm going to start with, so it was back in 22 that I had the opportunity to take Mabel on as one of my projects, or my children as I call them, and that was such a privilege because she's such a sweet little mare, and again very different to Nika, who I was working with more back then. So we started off, obviously like Tracy was explaining, that we weren't having clients riding her anymore at that stage. So it was a case of, again, because of her conformation, we did a little bit of schooling to start with and a little bit of hacking, but we just soon came to the conclusion that actually it was quite difficult for Mabel to be ridden. Again, because of her conformation, you were asking her to lift up her tummy and she just found it difficult, and at times you felt like you were sat up on her and she was so wide and, you know, so strong through her shoulders and her neck, and she just found it difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, she really enjoyed going out, but again we then decided actually she loves her driving. So again, you know, after her injury, that again we don't know how this happened out in the field, but she then rested for a good while, and we then started a bit of a rehab routine with her. So I just started very gently walking her out in hand, so in the pressure halter, and we built up her fitness slowly. And as you can tell, she just loves being out and about, doing things. She always has her ears forward, and she just loves to be busy. So we then started doing a bit more long reining. So I take her out in the long reins, and we do walk and trotting up the road, just building up that bit of fitness over time. And it was just a case of being very aware of that foot, that she had the injury, and just keeping an eye on her and if she looked lame. And we just took it very slowly. So we built up her fitness, and we started taking her out on ride and lead as well, you know, once she'd built up a bit more strength. And we just then had a discussion and thought, actually, with her underlying issue in that leg, is it really a good idea to start her driving again? Because again, you know, if we were somewhere that was flat and we didn't have the hills to go up and down, and adding that extra pressure, she would probably maintain herself very well, but we just felt that it wasn't the right thing for her anymore. So nowadays, Mabel's routine is very much going out and about like she is today, doing ride and lead, which she really enjoys. And again, no, she hasn't got her pink ears on, which I was thinking of before, but I was just worrying with the wind that it might catch hold of them. But ordinarily she does go out in her little pink ears and her high vis gear. So Mabel's routine now is very much just keeping her subtle, you know, because she gets quite stiff through her shoulders and neck, again, just through a conformation. But she has regular checkups from Jenny, our physio, and Rachel, who is our cranial sacral therapist. And they both say that actually Mabel looks after herself very well, and she doesn't really have many issues. And that's the thing with a lot of horses, that even if her conformation isn't perhaps the best, it doesn't mean that she can't stay sound and happy. So we very much just do a lot of going out up and down hills to build up that strength, and doing a little bit of pole work as well, just to get her to lift up her legs and push through, and just keeping her, you know, she enjoys her work. And that's the thing with all the horses, is that the work we do with them is to keep them happy, supple and strong, and to entertain them really. So yeah, that's what Mabel's doing nowadays. Pardon? Oh yeah, so was it last year? Or has she done it 2 years in a row? Yeah, so the first year we took her, again, she loves it down the beach, because she was ridden down there a few times when she was in ridden work, and she loved it. She would often go off down the beach and go sideways and just do her weird little things that Mabel did. But we took her down there on the beach walking days, and she's very much a horse that loves to splash, go in the puddles, and then she ended up going into the channel and rolling, which is her most favourite thing. And it's so lovely that she can get out and about and do things like that, because, you know, even though she isn't ridden anymore, she can go out and do nice things that she enjoys, and you can just tell how happy she is with her ears forward all the time. And she's just such a little character that everyone that meets her just loves her little quirky character, because she's definitely one of a kind. Yeah. Yeah, so she definitely loves the boys. Don't you, Mabel? And when she used to do, you know, a lot of the driving and doing things together, I'd always sort of see her as a bit of a pony sort of character. She's just, yeah, she's an individual, and she's always done things her way. You know, even in the arena doing sort of the pole work and all the things like that, she's just so funny, and she just has such an expressive little face. And she often used to grunt quite a lot. When she pushes herself a bit more, she often grunts away. But she just loves everything that she does, and that's where even throughout her sort of rehab time, she just enjoyed it. And that's where we monitor them so closely, and we just look at them and we can see when they're happy and they're enjoying it. So that's where with her we just want to keep her working and happy. No, so Mabel's definitely one who likes company, but like you say, out in the field she can sometimes be a bit of a loner, but it's a case of she just needs to know there's somebody else in her eyesight. But even in the friendship barn to start with, she was a bit stressy, but once she knows the person that's in there, she settles. She just doesn't like to be on her own. She just loves company.
I don't know whether Lisa joined us, but
so when she was on box rest, she would just be very demanding about her bum scratches. So you'd go in the box with her and she'd always turn round and just demand that you scratch between her legs. And she actually seemed to thoroughly enjoy her time of box rest, whereas a lot of horses, can get quite stressy with it. She just enjoyed having all that attention, sometimes taking advantage, but she just loved it. And it's just nice that even throughout her injury and her rehab, she's just always been such a happy little horse. See some of the comments. Yeah, Mabel is Maybelline with that beautiful mane. She has definitely got one of the nicest manes that we often plait up, and she's just so cool. Yeah, I think, definitely her and Hannes. Yeah, and Jummers with his lovely mane. Yeah, Mabel is not a fan of JB. No idea why. As soon as she sees him, she just puts her ears back. But it seems to be that a lot of the mares aren't a fan of him, they're not his biggest fan. But she is funny. Yes, Lindsay, she does sound like a lady of leisure. Who else have we got on here? Is Mabel quite small? A sport horse more than Baroque. I'd love to see Mabel on the beach. So Mabel is particularly small for a Friesian. I don't know how many hands she is. About 15 hands. She's, when she's stood next to a lot of the others, she's a lot smaller. But again, it's, her conformation with her dipped back and her shorter legs. So yeah, she's just built differently, and that's where we just work with that. And she's just fab. It doesn't take away from how lovely she is and how much joy she's brought people over the years, whether it's just people coming up and grooming her, because again, she'd just stand there all day being pampered, and you can just tell sometimes you go down to the field and she stood there saying that it's her time to come in, and she just seems to enjoy everything that you do with her. Yeah, that's the thing with her, it's like what Jenny was saying, although she has got a few quirks, she does look after herself really well, and there's not actually many underlying issues with her. So that's where her routine really is, just to keep her happy and strong and supple. Who else have we got on here? Hi, Nika. Hi, Lisa. What Tracy's saying. Hi, thank you. So we were just talking about Mabel, and so I did repeat a lot of the things that we were saying because it is so windy that we know that you can't always hear what the other person is saying. Yes, Jubbers is always stitching food. Who else have we got on here? I feel you, Mabel. Yeah. Mabel is also Peppa Pig. Yeah, definitely, because she likes to roll in muddy puddles. And she's always filthy. This morning she came in and she was the dirtiest out of them all. Even though she gets bathed at least once a week, she just always seems to get filthy. But she did have a nice leg trim last week. So she looks nice and smart and clean. And that's where we do trim a lot of their legs, because she does get a little bit scabby in her hind legs. So it's just to keep her nice and comfortable. And she does look very pretty with her trimmed legs. I'm jealous of that beautiful tail. Look at that beautiful tail. She has got a fabulous tail. Look how shiny she looks. And Doutzen. Yeah, the wiggle bum. Yeah. Can have a little trot on here. Try and just get hold of the reins a bit more, because I know Ren will want to go as well. I need to see Mabel's bottom. Look at Mabel's bottom. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, she says it's hard work. Yeah, we're all a little bit unfit right now, but we're going to work on that through the summer months. And that's where we've made, so we can get her out and more riding leads, build up that fitness again. She loves going out with Renske, and she can always do a bit of long reining as well, because that keeps me fit too, having to run behind. So hi Pippa. Oh, we miss Vince's dancing. You see, I never actually got to see any of that, so we're definitely going to have to do more of that when Lisa and Vince are back. Oh yeah, yeah, we'll have to get Hazel to do some dancing, because Hazel's a very good dancer. She does fit steps every week, so we need to get everyone roped in. Winter weight is hard to get off, definitely. I feel that pain as well. Especially this, it just seems to have been quite a long winter, so that's where actually it's been an absolute pleasure this last few days to have a bit of sunshine. All the horses are happy and relaxed, and it's just been so lovely to feel like we can get a few more works and get more things done on the yard. It's what? Yeah, so Tracy was just saying we've got 6 work today, which is amazing. And that's where it's just amazing to have help on the yard, because it just frees us up a bit more to get more done with the horses. And actually I think I've got about 3 or 4 that have had full body baths, so again that's great that, you know, on a day like today they can all have a nice bath, check them over and just get everybody nice and clean. Oh yes, Nancy, we did have Chris as well, which was quite a surprise that he rocked up. So he got, who did he do? Hidda, Renske, and I think Prince had a trim as well, because he came last week, so he's getting on top of them. So it's always lovely to see Chris. Oh, are you off now, Inika? I'm sure we will see you again soon. I'm in Canada, so a week or 2 behind you. Don't worry, me and Anne have plans for you all. Okay. I hope I'm not getting roped into that, because I'm definitely not a dancer. I have no coordination whatsoever. Yeah, we're definitely going to get roped in, whether we like it or not. Look at that beautiful Mabel. She's just such a little sweetheart. She's definitely a little character. Such a happy little mare. And I just feel so lucky that, you know, I've had the opportunity to work with her for so many years, and I have such fond memories of getting her out and driving. And because again I didn't do a huge amount of driving before working with Mabel. I did little bits here and there, but she actually really built my confidence with it, because I was always one that I can't think of the word now, I would overthink everything, but she's just such a confidence giver, such a sweet little horse. And again, like Tracy said, she just takes everything in her stride. Such a sweetheart. Isn't it just lovely to watch them from this angle? Yes, Jay, they are so good. And Mabel in particular is just really good, and she's very responsive. So even if you just ask her to walk forward a bit more, she does. And because you can just tell she just loves it. We miss you too, Lisa. And yes, the Mabel walks. Because generally when Lisa's up here, again, Lisa does quite a bit with Mabel, so we'll get out for little walks with Mabel and Nika, or Mabel and Jodie, because she's a great horse to give another one confidence. So if we're out on a walk and one of them gets a little bit nervous, she's just a great influence to have around. Little sweetheart. Miss Mabel walks, and yeah, so Mabel definitely loves, she's going for a drink. Every time she comes in, she needs to have a drink.
That was such hard work.
Oh. Yeah, exactly. Oh, Mabes. Yeah, I probably will, because I don't want to drop it. I'm a bit out of practice with the whole.
I know, it was really weird when I went back to it. There's Kate. There's the lovely Kate. Oh, she's just parked there. She just wanted a drink. Yeah. Oh, we've got Lisa here. Oh, excellent. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Jay. Cassidy says thank you. Well, you know, we missed the main live last week, so it was only right. Oh, look at you, the L'Oreal girl. Oh, you want to go and see Ren now? Or she'll be looking for her post-walk apple, won't she?
Right.
Yeah. I know. I thought they were going to arrive today, but I think they're not arriving till tomorrow. She can have a head collar on, and then she can come over here. I should have got the stand ready. Let's say hello to Ren as well. Thank you, Lisa. I thought you were saying hello, Trace, then. In which case, Vince must be with you. Oh, Beelzebubs, you're very welcome. We like the Friesian smiles. We like to share the Friesian smiles. We've done a lot of filming today. In fact, we've still got a live stream happening up over there on the turnouts. There's Dow, lovely Dow. That was nice to get her out as well. Mabes is having a head collar on. Okay, nobody judges you, Kate. Oh, Ren. Oh, honestly, I spent the whole weekend feeling so grateful for everything, because, you know, when you have weather like this, the horses all look well. We've got such wonderful people around us, both here and online. You just can't help but feel grateful for everything and happy to be alive. Are we on your TV? Excellent. So there's the little Pepper in all her glory, with that lovely tummy. That lovely tummy and those lovely ears. Let's get you another up of her ears. Go on, Mabes, face this way and let's see those little ears that point in. And that's what Friesian ears are supposed to look like.